Well, hey, and thanks for tuning into another episode of the Full Frontal Living podcast. So, if you're watching this on YouTube, this is not the first time that I have done a podcast episode from my car. This is pretty standard for me. I get a lot of downloads about what I want to talk about when I'm in my car. This is, however, the first time I am recording video while in my car for the podcast. So, always be learning and growing. So, again, welcome and thanks for tuning into another episode. Today, I want to talk about how much your energy is being impacted by all you're doing, which I know you already know that you are busy. You are probably juggling multiple plates, multiple balls, spinning multiple plates. There's so many different sayings to describe how very busy my clients tend to be, the men and women that I work with. However, have you ever stopped to consider what specifically you are so busy with? So, if you're anything like me, I was going along life, I was doing all the things, and I was in such a habit and routine of doing all the things. And I typically am a high functioning, I like to refer to it as an over functioning person now because I've come to realize, uh, just like many of my clients, that we typically over function because we believe everybody else is under functioning around us. So we compensate when we believe that other people aren't going to do what they're supposed to do, which that's a whole other episode on why we get into that. However, this episode is focusing on you getting really clear on what specifically you are so busy with and what needs to go. So I still talk a lot about physical well-being. I still talk a lot about what it means to take care of your body, your nutrition, all of those kind of things. But back in the day, 99% of my business was really focused around supporting women lose weight, reshape their bodies, all that kind of good stuff. I don't do that specifically anymore because I don't actually believe that your weight is the problem. Again, that's probably another episode. It is more a symptom um, of many underlying factors. It's really no different than being super busy all the time. But the point is, where I'm trying to get to with this is I would have clients do a food log for me because most of them were totally unaware of what they were putting in their bodies. So they would come to me and say, Lisa, but I eat healthy. I don't understand. Why am I gaining weight? Why can't I lose weight? What is happening? And I would say, well, that's really great. But until I see on paper what you're doing, I can't make adjustments. We have to have an idea of what is happening. I want to see, like, what are your portion sizes? Because you might think you're eating a cup of something when, in fact, if you were to measure it, you're eating closer to 2 cups. It became a really powerful tool, not to change anything, but again, to create the awareness so that I could look at and see, okay, where can I make tweaks and adjustments to this person's nutrition without completely turning their life upside down? Were they eating enough protein? Were they getting in enough veggies? Were their portion sizes off? Where were their healthy fats? Were there healthy fats on there? The same is true when it comes to how much stuff you're doing. We often go on autopilot. We're doing a ton of stuff, but we're not really paying attention to what we're doing. Are you prioritizing things that matter? Or are you getting into a bunch of busy work, but then telling yourself it's important, telling yourself it needs to get done, but maybe it doesn't? So today's episode is talking about a doing diary. So, what I ask my clients to do is to keep track of everything they do from the time they get up until the time they go to bed, to just write it down. You can use the notes on your phone, you can just use pen and paper, not a big deal, but start to keep track of your time. Start to keep track of every single time you pick up your phone to go to social media, every time you're in your email, how long you're spending in there, what kind of tasks are you spending your time doing? How much time are you in your car driving your kids somewhere? That's actually where I am right now. Something came up and I had to hop in my car and get my kid to his tutor. So all of these things impact our energy, but you cannot make changes if you are just running on autopilot and telling yourself, well, these are the things that I have to do. How do you know that? How do you know that you have to do all those things? Or have you just told yourself the story that you have to do these things? So a doing diary will help you create awareness around everything that's happening in your day. So you'll be better prepared to make different decisions. So if you find that a lot of your day is getting carved up from running your kids here, there, and everywhere, how can you ask for support and help from your partner, carpooling with other parents, changing around schedules? I so often see kids are overscheduled. So if you're one of those parents who is constantly busy, yet you are also overscheduling your children, you are teaching them, you are teaching them that being busy with all the things to do all the time is how you live your life, and you're modeling it to them. So if you don't want your kids to grow up stressed out, overwhelmed, all the things like you might be feeling, then practice signing your kids up to less activities. We typically only do 1 or 2 activities per quarter in our household. So if he has tutor and soccer, and then that's it. Because we don't want a kid that is doing all the things and he doesn't have time to actually just rest and play. I want him to value rest and play, just like I want my clients to value rest and play. So, looking at how you can start to delegate some of this stuff to other people. If you're looking at your day and you're finding, holy crap, like I really am picking up my phone and I'm ending up in social media multiple times a day. I go on to post something and then all of a sudden I'm down the rabbit hole of other people's content. That is something that you maybe want to start looking at. Where can you delete? I personally put my apps on my phone. Facebook doesn't live on my phone at all. Instagram goes on my phone so I can post what I need to post. And then I delete the app. To which a lot of people say, oh my God, like, so you have to reload the app every time? People, it takes less than like 5 seconds to download the app again. It's not a big deal. I would rather spend those 5-10 seconds downloading the app again than the 20 minutes I lose looking at all the content. And let me ask you, do you even remember the content that you were so enthralled in yesterday or the day before or a week from now? So we have to start being mindful of where we're spending our time and energy. So that's how I navigate social media. So these are some of the things that you are going to find on this doing list. You might find that you're taking care of all these tasks on your to-do list and they're tasks that don't really matter. Like, are they actually moving the needle forward in your life or your business? Because you want to be able to learn to prioritize what is the most important thing that needs to happen in order for me to create the change that I want to see. So if you have a specific outcome that you're working towards, your priority should be on the things that are going to create that outcome, not on just the busy work. And I understand we all have stuff that's just like busy, busy work. So do I. But what I end up doing to combat this is I have like a running to-do list of like little piddly things that need to get done. And usually once every 3 weeks or so, I will create a doing day. And my doing day is just to get the shit done that isn't a priority. That's it. That's what it's for. And I will sit down for 2 or 3 hours on a Saturday and I will just hammer it out. But I cannot get caught up in those little tiny things that don't matter during the week when I have to be focused on doing the things in my business that matter most to me, the things in my life that matter most to me. So, after listening to this episode, I would love for you to create your own doing diary. I think it's really important to do this, usually like at least a couple times a year, once a quarter if you're in business, so that you can really capture where you're spending your time and your energy. So you don't just get caught in this habit of doing things without even checking in as to why I'm doing this. And I know that's happened to you because it's happened to pretty much everybody, where one day we're like, why am I even doing this? Like, we often forget that we have choice. We have choice. And there are things in your life that need to get done. There are things in your life that need to get delegated. And there are things in your life that you just need to flat out delete and no longer do. So I love to say, I don't have a busy life. I don't live in the energy of busy anymore. That's just not a way I would ever describe myself. If somebody asks me how I am, I never say busy. I have a full life. I have a full life. but it's different. A full life is I am engaged in activities that I have chosen. I am intentional about the things that I do in my life, the things that I say yes to, the things that I am spending my time and energy on because they fill me up. So, granted, not everything I do I love. I run a business. I don't love all the things I have to do in my business. But for the most part, the majority of things I really do enjoy. I really do enjoy doing. So, it never drains my energy. And if something in my business is starting to drain my energy, then I really look at, can I give this to somebody else to handle? Do I still want to do this in my business? And that's how I make choices. But it always starts with, okay, Lisa, let's get clear on what you are getting so sunk into. What is taking all your time? And that is where a doing diary can be so, so impactful for helping to manage your energy. It is literally about you bringing awareness into your life, into your day, about where you're spending your time and your energy. And that's how you create more, right? That is how you create more. And it always has to do with once you see that list going, okay, what needs to go, right? That's why we want to delegate and we want to delete from that list. So if this episode was helpful for you, make sure you leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform, please, if you haven't already left a review, I would love it if you would. This is how I help more listeners find my message and come into my crazy world. I appreciate you being here so much. If you want more information about how to work with me, you can go to lisacarpenter.ca, WWM. I am accepting one-to-one clients, and we are also going to open enrollment for the collective, which is going to be a 6-month hybrid group and one-to-one coaching container. I'm only taking a small handful of people. That starts in September, but applications are going to be open for that soon as well. So if you want more information, please just email me at lisa@lisacarpenter.ca, and I'm happy to hop on a call and we can talk about what that container is going to look like and if it's right for you. And let me tell you, I often say no to people. I turn people down for the energy audit program because they weren't the right fit. So I am really here to make sure that if you are going to be investing in you, that working with me truly is that right investment, that right next step for what it is you need right now. Okay. So have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you. And I will catch you on the next episode.